Hi, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to see what is Pandas library and what are the data structures that are available in Pandas and how we are going to use them for our data manipulation purposes. So what is Pandas? Pandas is a Python supported library that is mainly used for data science and data analytics purposes. So let's say if you have a tabular data and if you want to um, explore, clean, and process your data. Pandas has functions for that very specific purpose. Um, it is a well integrated library. It has integrations with various file formats like CSV, Excel, JSON, and um, Parquet, or anything that you would wish to integrate with. If you have worked on SQL before, Pandas is much like SQL. SQL is more suited for data storage and retrieval, and Pandas is especially designed for data analysis. It is straightforward, user friendly, and you can even use Pandas for data visualization purposes. And it supports all basic database operations, plus it offers something extra for our data science use cases. So let's start by I'm using sorry, I'm using Anaconda Jupyter notebook in Anaconda for running my Python scripts. I'm just going to name it Pandas tutorial one. Yeah, for if you haven't installed Pandas in your system, you have to install it before you use it. So let's just install it using pip command. So since I already installed it in my system, it is showing the requirement is already satisfied. But if you haven't installed it, it is going to install it for you. And once you have installed Pandas, you have to import the package to actually use it. Now it has imported. In Pandas, we have two main data structures. One is series and the other is data frame. Series is similar to what we call an array. It is one dimensional. It is like this. And data frame is in matrix form. It's in tabular form, something like this with rows and columns. So series is in one dimensional form, and matrix and data frame is in a two-dimensional form, rows and columns. Let's start creating a series. You have to call series function. Let's check the type of this, and it says series. Okay, so now we have created a series. Let's see how we can create a data frame. For that, we just have to call data frame function and pass, and inside the function, we have to pass a dictionary. Let's say we are storing student mark sheet. So we will have student name, and you pass an array of values. Let's say Alvin. Let's just store 4, 5 values. and rows. Okay, we have 4 students, and in English they have scored. Alvin has scored 98. Logan has scored 87. Shreya has scored 79. Rose has scored 83. Like that, we are going to populate for all subjects. Let's say we have mathematics. And science. So now we have passed dictionary of lists. So this is the key value pair, where a key is student name and value is a list of student names. And like that, English marks, mathematics marks, and science marks we have passed. Now let's see if we have a data frame. Yes. So now we have data in tabular form. Each column in a data frame is called a series. Now that you have a data frame in hand, you can do things with the data frame by applying methods to it. Now, let's say if you want to just see a technical summary of the data frame, you just have to call this method df.info, which will give you some info regarding your database. Let's see, yes, this is of course a data frame, yes. Then it has 4 entries, 0 to 3. The the index is named 0 to 3. And what are the data columns? We have total 4 columns, and the column names, number of non-null values, and data types of those columns. So we have all the technical summary of the data frame, including the memory usage. Yes, okay. Now let's see. Let's say if you need some quick overview of numerical data in your data frame. For that, you have to use df.describe. It will give uh, numerical data for your data frame. It 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 has excluded student name column because it is not a numerical data type. It is an object data type. It has given us count, mean, standard deviation, minimum, 25th percentile, 50th percentile, and 75th percentile, and also max value of your data frame. There is also a shape attribute which gives the shape of your data frame, which is exactly like matrix, number of rows and number of columns. Let's say if you want to see what your data frame has. df.head gives top 5 rows of your data frame. Now that we just have only 4 rows, it only gives 4, and you can always specify how many rows you want to visualize to get a sense of what data we have. You can just set any number to it, and it will display whatever data we have. We also have df.tail, which gives bottom bottom two records of the data frame. This is just to see and get some sense of our data. What are the fields we have, and how our data is looking exactly. We can also check the type of the variable using type function. It says data frame. Yes, DF is a data frame. So in a data frame, every column is a list, is a series. Let's say we are creating, let's say we just want how many, what are the scores students have got in English. We'll just select this column and we are assigning this to a variable called English, df of English. And if we check the type of this, it will say it is a series. So every column in the data frame is a series. Let's suppose if we want to check what you have is a series or a data frame, you can use is instance function. If you, let's say if you want to check df is a series, df df is a series, it gives false because df is not a series and df is a data frame. Let's say if we want to check if English is a series, yes, it is a series, it gives out true. Like that we can check for variables if it is a data frame using this method. It says true because df is a data frame. Okay, let's say if you want to see what is the max mark a student scored in English, you can select, you can check that using the max method. Yeah, this is what it is, very simple by to get max value of series by using pandas. In, in SQL, you will have to use select max of column from table. Such a long query you have to use, but here you can just use dot max function and it will give you the value straight away. Similarly, if you want to check minimum, you can always do that. Yeah, you can always select minimum functions, minimum values from data frame. It will just give out um, lowest value of every column. For example, lowest value of student name is Alvin because it is lower in alphabetical order. It comes first in the alphabetical order. Like that, 79 is the minimum, and for mathematics, 87 is the minimum, and for science, 81 is the minimum. Or if you want to see what is the minimum score in a selected subject, you can always go for a column selection and just use the same minimum function. It will give you the minimum score in English. Like that, you can manipulate your data and uh, you can learn more about your data. And Pandas integrates well with other file formats. So if you want to convert your data to save your data to CSV or Excel, you can always do that by calling to function. If you want to save it to Excel, you'll call to Excel. If you want to save it to CSV, you'll call to CSV. I'm going to save this data frame to a CSV. I'll just say student marks. Now, if I go to my environment, yes, I have the student marks saved. Now, if I don't want my CSV file to have the index, column 0, 1, 2, 3, I have to add a parameter index equal to false. It will save the file without the index. Now, if you go and check the data, yeah, it has saved without index. Similarly, if I want to save my data frame to Excel, I will just use CSV to Excel student marks Excel and give a sheet name, or the default sheet name will be sheet 1. If you don't want that, you can always specify sheet name and give index equal to false. Sorry, I forgot to give the file extension. Now, if I go to the file location, it would have stored it in Excel format. Let's move on from using toy dataset to some real world dataset. I have this CSV saved here, which is happiness index. I took this dataset from Kaggle. It is in CSV form. All I have to save it to a data frame in my Python script is I just have to call read CSV function. Let's do that. I'm going to name my data frame as happiness. I'm going to do pd dot read CSV. The file name is happiness.csv. I'm just going to pass it. Let's see if I've got the data. Yes. Now we have our data frame. So here Pandas doesn't display all rows in the data as it appears because it wants to save runtime memory, but you can always set it to your value of your wish to display all rows. Same goes for columns. You just have to call pd.setOption method. Let's do it here. Set option display dot max rows. Command none if you want to display all rows. And same goes for columns. We just have to do display dot max columns. Yeah, now if you do this, you will able to see all the rows in the data frame. But if you have millions of records, it is not advisable to use it because it really drains out the RAM memory, and it doesn't make sense to see all values. So let's just keep it in mind and not use it if you don't need it. So we have 134 rows and 4 columns indexed from 0 to 133. Here we can again do all the basic operations to get to know about our data. So yeah, it is a data frame. It has 134 entries indexed from 0 to 133. It has 4 columns: countries, happiness index, global rank, and available data. Available data is an object data type. Happiness index is float data type. Global rank is integer data type, and countries is another object data type. And it has used 4.3 kilobyte KB of memory. Let's see some numerical statistics of our data by using describe method. It only gives out float and integer type columns, so happiness index and global rank are displayed here, and here is the statistical detail of our data frame. Also, let's guess the shape of a data frame. It is 134 rows and 4 columns. So the shape of data frame should be 134, 4. Let's check what we have. Yes, it is 134, 4. And the type of happiness should be data frame. Okay, let's say if we just want to see the records where the happiness index is greater than a certain value. Let's say how we can do it. Happiness of happiness. Let's just copy paste this. Greater than 6. It is just giving out 52 records which has happiness index greater than 6. Let's see how it is working. So this condition we have given here is this is a conditional expression which is actually same as the if condition you would be using. So if happiness index is greater than 6, we have to get those records in the happiness data frame. So let's see how this condition is working here. So for every data point, that is for each record we have, it is giving out true for the records which satisfies this condition and false for those which doesn't satisfy. We have true in the first 52 and false for the later records because the data is sorted by the happiness column. So we have data sorted from highest happiness index to the lowest. So it has true for first 50 some records and false for the rest of the records. So what this statement is doing is it is only selecting those records. This is a selection bracket. It is just selecting those records which have returned true for this particular condition. So that is just 53 records as we, yeah, 0 to 52. Here we only see 0 to 52 because only those records have returned true for this particular condition. And let's say if you want to sort by another feature, another column, let's say if you want to sort by countries column, we would be ignore index equal to true. So now the data is sorted uh, by using countries. This is just selecting the data frame. It is not changing the actual data frame. If you want to change the data frame, you have to give in place equal to true, or else you have to assign it to the data frame to actually change it in place. Otherwise, the original data will remain uh, sorted by the global rank. You have to assign it, assign this to this data frame again to have it um, sorted by countries in the memory. This is otherwise, this is just for viewing. You haven't assigned, you haven't changed it in place. The memory hasn't changed. It is just showing you how it will look if you have sorted it by countries. If you just want to look at specific country, let's say if you just want to look at India, what is the happiness index and global rank and available data for India? We have to again select it, happiness using the if condition, happiness of countries equal to India. Now the India record will have everything. The it will return the row which has the record for India. Let's check the data frame for India. It is a data frame because you have selected, it has column name and also uh, the also the values for column name. For series, there won't be any column name. It will be just one dimensional. Now, because it has row number and also column value, it is in it has dimension, it has future, so it is in tabular form, so it is a data frame. Series won't have any column name. For the series we created before English, if you just select it, there won't be any column name appearing here. It is just in one dimension, but India is a data frame because it has column names and data assigned to those column names and also have index. It is a data frame. So that is the difference. Let's say if you want to select uh, more countries. Here we have just selected only one country. What if you want to select more values? Let's say uh, India, let's say if you want to select India and Germany and Japan, how will you do it? Country of choice equal to happiness of happiness. Again, it is a if condition of countries is we are going to use a method called is in. It is similar to SQL function where you use where in keyword in command. This is similar to that where you can pass a list of data. Let's say India, Germany, Japan. Now, if we look at this data structure, it will return all the records for the countries we have selected, sorted in the same order. You can also use OR function or operator to select India in if country name is equal to India or country name equal to Germany or country name equal to Japan, it will return the same. Uh, this is equal to or operator. We can also look at that. Countries, let's say countries, happiness of happiness of countries equal to India. Or let's say we want to select China. Now it will return China and India. We are passing a list and checking whether the data is in the list, whether the country name is in the list. It is same to checking if the country is equal to India or the country is equal to China. Both are same. So that's all for today. We will see more Pandas operations in detail in our next video. Stay tuned. Thank you so much. Bye.